Welcome back to the finals of the World Championships Plate Cup. 4 teams remain. This will be reduced to 1 team tomorrow afternoon when the grand final will be played. I'd like to shout out there to Yenar Beer for being the sponsors of the World Championships this year up here on the Gold Coast. Yenar Beer, the Clayton's beer, the beer that you have when you're not having a beer. Greenhills Giants today, starting with their openers of Dan Bailey and Marty Blenman, who did yesterday. They opened the innings yesterday. Yesterday the Giants set a 150 total. Westfield tried to chase it down, but lost wickets. And at the end, in a very tight game, they lost their last 2 wickets and fell short of the Greenhills Giants total. There was an injury yesterday to Jared Diplock. The athlete got injured, hurt his shoulder with only 2 overs to go. They actually called for the veteran Michael Ling in a like-for-like replacement. And there's a name you'll know that that is a bit of a joke. Today's game against Coco Ruff. Their ranking is 44 in the world against the Greenhills Giants, who have moved their ranking up to about 547. So it might seem a little bit lopsided, but the Giants won't back down. They won't lay down. G'day to all our supporters out there of the Greenhills Giants. Out in the sponsors box there at Thornton, we'd probably have David Ling, Andrew Cox, Nathan Chappell astutely watching this game. The Blenman family have been advising me they've been watching the games. Jess Ling, the captain Travis Ling's wife, has been astutely watching these games. She's been happy to watch and give some feedback. She's quite a good cricketer herself, Jess. Greenhills Giants opener Dan Bailey taking his mark. Probably be looking at middle stump, marking his crease. Coco Ruff bowler looks like Ben Malata. About to get underway here. Bowler moving in to Dan Bailey. Bailey sees it, gets a little bit full, pushes it out to deep extra cover. The fielding today, they've got a deep backward square, deep mid wicket, deep mid on, deep mid off, deep extra cover, and deep square. Good ball there, bowled by Malata. Dot ball. Moves into Marty Blenman. Oh, and that's wide. That's very wide. That's real wide. They're not going to get the wide there, the 1 run. They're also going to get an extra run for running. So that's 2 runs picked up there by the Greenhills Giants. They want to start today. Yesterday's start was excellent. People wouldn't be happy seeing that ball thrown so wide. Any wide's now worth 3 runs. Dan Bailey looking around the field. Bowler comes in. It's like a little bit off spin. Just push it out into short cover. The bowler chases it out to field it by himself. So that's what the Greenhills Giants are looking at today. Just to get a start and try and let that middle order work. Yesterday they got the start. The middle order unfortunately weren't able to go on with it. Today they'll be hoping for something very similar, but the middle order to actually unleash. Bowler's in. Blenman sees it. Just short on off stump. Tries to pull it across the line. Gets through for a single. Overcast conditions here today at the Gold Coast. Doesn't look like rain, but cloud cover. So that'll be helping the players, although the humidity has now risen up to about 90%. Bowler moves in. Dan Bailey picks it off his hip and flicks it down to fine leg. Deep square leg comes round, saves it just 1 run. Greenhills Giants currently none for 5. Dan Bailey sitting on 2 from 2. Marty Blenman 3 from 4. Greenhills Giants now wicket for 5 runs after 1 over. New bowler. Malata bowled a good opening spell there. He'll be hoping to keep this up through his remaining 3 overs. New bowler Winston Timaloa. Timaloa moves into Dan Bailey. Bailey sees it full, hits it. Looks like he's pierced the field there, and he has. He's beaten the outfielder. It's going to be 4 runs. That's the first boundary for the Greenhills Giants. They'll be hoping to get plenty more of those today. Boundaries, 4s and 6s. There's something that all teams are looking for here. Big boundaries, fast outfields though. As long as you can pierce the field, there's the opportunity to take the 4. If not, you've got to run, and run hard. Looking at 2s. Ball's actually gone underneath some foliage in the outfield. The fieldsman's actually looking for it, requiring help in amongst all the foliage. Looks like he's found the ball. Just going to underarm it, bring it back into the bowler. We're getting down to the hard part of the competition here now. In the Plate Cup, it's down to the final for the grand final tomorrow. 2 winning teams from today's final will go on and play in the grand final tomorrow. Greenhills Giants will be happy to be one of those teams. Even though the boys are sore and sorry, it's been a long week. Bowler moves in. Bailey just flicks it in the air down to deep extra cover, and they're happy with just a single. Fieldsman picks it up, flicks it back into the bowler. Bowler's moving into Marty Blenman now. Blenman gets good ball, just pushes it down to deep third man. Point fielder runs round, picks it up. Very quick in the outfield, these Coco Ruff fieldsmen. So that's going to be restricting the Greenhills Giants. Although if they can hit the gaps, they can get their 2s. Bailey sees a little bit short of a length, pushes it out to deep mid-off. Fieldsman moves around, picks it up. Just a single. Not a lot happening at the moment early in the Greenhills Giants innings, but things can change with that. If they can maintain wickets, they can unleash. Lemon picks it up well, doesn't quite get onto it, so it's going out to the mid-wicket boundary. Fieldsman moves around, picks it up, rips it in. Deep point that's moved around slightly. Thinking that the Giants are going to be hitting it much squarer of the wicket. If they can get it somehow behind the keeper, there's a lot of runs. Their point is almost direct straight across, and also on the hook shot. And nothing behind the keeper. Greenhills Giants move on to none for 13 off 2 overs. Respectable start. Daniel Bailey 8 off 5, Marty Blenman 5 off 6. Just find it hard to read this score at times. The glasses are misting up due to the humidity in the air, so hopefully you can bear with me at times. Tamatimi looks like the new bowler. Moves into Blenman. Blenman, another good ball. He's playing well. Just push it down deep third man. Point fieldsman runs round. And I'd say that's why that point fieldsman is exactly where he is. He's quick and has a good arm. So it'll be very handy for the Coco Ruff players. Bowler moves in again. Dan Bailey sees it, likes it, but all he can do is pull it down the ground. Down to long on, just a single. Coco Ruff, a very experienced team. They were just trying to restrict the Greenhills Giants, make them throw wickets away. Blenman comes down the wicket, just off his pads, nothing there, misses it. So no run picked up, a dot ball. We've spoken about this over the few days. Dot balls aren't good for the batting team. Blenman on strike once again. Steps across his stumps. He liked this yesterday. He's flicked it down to fine leg, and that's a beautiful shot. Excellent. Over the boundary for 4 more runs. They keep bowling at Marty's pads. He will step across, and they'll either flick him down to fine leg, or if they put on the stumps, he'll blast it and blast it over the boundary. Strong batsman. Great innings yesterday of 55, I think, off 27 balls it was. He totally unleashed. Unfortunately, the Giants couldn't go on with his early scoring. And the captain, Travis Ling, has probably put Marty out there to do the same job. He can stick around, but he can also go big. Oh, moves down the wicket. He's got to be very careful there. If the keeper realises what he's doing, he'll move up to the stumps, and there'll be the possibility of a stumping. It's the end of the over. Dan Bailey, 9 off 6. Blenman, 10 off 10. So it's a steady start from the Giants. They're not going to throw nothing away. Some teams here have thrown wickets away early, and it's cost them later in the game. So they're trying to be smart here, maintain wickets, and go on with the score. Projected scoreline at the moment, it's only 127. That can change. We've seen that over the few days. Projected scores can go up or down depending on wickets lost or runs scored. For Tutai to resume the bowling. Moves into Dan Bailey. Bailey lets it go on the offside, hoping it was wide enough to be called a wide, but it wasn't. It was a good ball. That'll be encouraging to the bowler. He'll be trying to maintain that line. Bailey will have to adjust his batting. And that's exactly what he does. Cuts it hard. Cover fieldsman's coming around to stop it. Yes, and he does, just inside the boundary. So they'll run 2. Good fielding. And a direct hit. So very lucky it wasn't a pushed 2 runs. Going along quietly, going along slowly at the moment, the Giants. But they'll have plans in place. They would have talked about this last night. Bowler moves in once again to Bailey. Bailey lets it go. If the bowler realises he doesn't like that length, he'll keep putting them there. Bailey needs to adjust this, and if it's out there, step across and try and at least cover drive him. Hit him out to long off boundary. He's advanced down the wicket, hit on the pads, no run. He won't be over with that. He's been seeing the ball quite well, Dan. He won't like missing the ball like that, especially one on his pads. He's normally very, very good off his pads. Ball moving in once again to Bailey. Bailey sees it, just pushes it out to mid-wicket along the ground. Good shot, but only 1 run. Batsmen yet to come in. They'll be sitting out there, hoping they can start getting to move along a little bit. And if they can move it along, it'll assist them later in the innings. There's some good batsmen sitting out there in the sheds. Travis Ling, David Cox, Jesse Varley, all big hitters of the ball. And you can't forget Luke Thomas. If he ever gets into beast mode, he hasn't been able to do it in the 3 games up here yet, where he can just maximise everything. Bowler moves in. Bailey sees that, pulls it round. He's pulled it fine, but the batsman, the fieldsman has moved around a bit finer after the last couple of shots. Restricts it to just 1, just a single. And bowling from this end, it'll be the second set of 10 overs where the batsman will be hitting with the wind. So this end has been a problem, as it was yesterday, hitting into the wind, but the ball was holding up in the air. Blenman sees it, pushes it down to Cow corner, along the ground there. Mid-wicket fieldsman comes in, just picks it up and throws it back to the bowler. Bailey on strike once again. Oh, just a bit full. Has that pierced the field? May have pierced the field, and it has pierced the field. Out through mid-wicket for 4. That last shot from Blenman had moved the fieldsman around a little bit squarer there at mid-wicket, and left that big gap. Dan Bailey's seen it and actually picked the gap. Excellent batting there by Bailey. Good work by Blenheim to actually move that field around. So sometimes they can be good. The batsman can actually move a field around by consistently hitting towards one area. As soon as the fieldsman moves around, they pick just in front of him and beats him to the boundary. Bowler moves in. Bailey sees it, goes across the line, gets hit on the pads. Must have been wide outside off stump. There's no appeal. Bailey on strike. And gets good ball. All he can do is push it square of the wicket. Point fieldsman had to run around quite a way. Leaves it for the cover fieldsman. They only get the one. The humidity here would be draining to the batsmen. They've got to be aware of that. They can slow them down because they can start getting a little bit tired. They need to pick their time. And like yesterday, their time to go could be shortly. Greenhills Giants sitting on no wicket for 29 after 5 overs. Dan Bailey, 18 off 15. Marty Blenheim, 11 off 11. So a good steady start by the Giants, but they want to move this along at a rapid pace shortly. Any score, as we've seen in this competition, can win, but you'd like to put more runs on the board, have teams chasing a lot more runs than just 120. 120 would be a low score in these conditions, so the Giants will be looking at getting 120 plus at least. Bailey gets it, punches out, deep extra cover, moves in quick, restricts him just to the single. Brings Blenheim back on strike. One of these batsmen will soon tell the other one that he's going to go. Reverse sweep, and he got a piece of that. He's walked straight away, didn't even look at the umpire. Blenheim knew he got a touch on that one. So that's the first wicket down. Greenhills Giants now reduced to 1 for 30 off 5.2 overs. Marty Blenheim, 11 off 11. Went to reverse sweep because the fieldsmen were round. Moved very square. All he could do was get a touch to the ball, caught by the keeper, and that's the first wicket down. Winston Timaloa will move on to 1 for 9. So he started this game in outstanding fashion. Projected score down, reduced now to about 111. But with wickets in hand, scores can be moved along. Just got to maintain what's going on out there and hopefully score a little bit quicker towards the end. From 10 overs to 16 overs, if you've got wickets in hand, you can start really going for it. So I think the Greenhills Giants will be trying to get this first 10 overs out of the way, try and pick up 50, 60 runs, and then go hard. New batsman in, it's David Cox. He's had quite a good competition up here. Oh, looks like there's a drone flying overhead. Don't know if it's for these games or if it's just someone out there playing with the drone. Cox facing. And just gets a good ball. All he can do is push it back down to the bowler. He'll be trying to get himself set. He can get himself set very quickly too, David, once he gets going. So we're just trying to see the first couple of balls and hopefully dispatch anything that's bad. And another good ball by the bowler, just pushed down past him. Just going to jog through for a single. So Cox is away, 1 off 2. Bailey 19 off 16. He's starting to get himself set. So hopefully he doesn't throw nothing away here. Just gets back the ball. Bowler moves in. And just pulled down to fine leg. Should only be the single. Fieldsman's there. Straight to the fieldsman, only the single. Timaloa, a wicket in his first over. Got dispatched for 11 runs, so 1 for 11 for Timaloa. Daniel Bailey, 20 off 17. The bowling, they've been quite good. They've only been going at a rate of about 5 or 6 and over, these bowlers. They'll be making them happy. 5 or 6 and over will restrict the Giants down to about 110, 120. But the Giants will be trying to extract something from the bat, and hopefully they can get up in the 150s. It'll be a hard ask from this area, but they do have the wind in the second set of 10, and they may be looking at that to let the wind assist. Bowler comes in. Bailey just chops it down for a single, down to third man. Some good fielding placements here by the Coco Ruff team. Captain must be very astute, realising the areas that his bowlers are bowling to, and he's got fieldsmen there. The fieldsmen are coming in quick. Bowler moves into Cox. Cox just pushes it out, picking up the 1 run out to mid-wicket. Quite a good throw by the mid-wicket fieldsman, so he must have a decent arm. They'll have to be aware of that. Anything out there, got someone who can blast the ball back in really quick. Bowler moves in. Oh, straight through him. Even though set, Bailey got beaten. That's another wicket. That's what the Giants won't be hoping for. Tamatimu. 1 for 8 off 1.3 now. They're starting to turn the screws a little bit on the Greenhills Giants. 2 for 34 off 6.3 overs. David Cox, the not out batsman, 2 off 3. The new batsman possibly would be Jesse Varley, who's been in quite good form up here on the Gold Coast. Coco Ruff fieldsmen all gathered in the middle. They'll be talking about it. Let's just keep this score down. Greenhills Giants batsmen will realise if they hit the ball, they've got to run and run fast. Try and pick off twos. Singles at the moment aren't helping them. And if they get the bad ball, they must put it away. So one thing they've been doing over a couple of games, they've been getting some bad balls and they just haven't put them away. They've either missed them or hit them straight to fieldsmen. Their mindset today hopefully has changed and they can pierce the gaps or get the middle of the bat and get boundaries. Jesse Varley looking around, watching where the field's going back out to. All the fieldsmen. All fieldsmen boundary riding. Possibly have heard about Jesse Varley's power and hitting. Bowler comes in. Varley early on will just get himself set. Pushes 1 down for a single to mid-off. Jesse's a very quick runner, so Cox will need to be aware of this. May try and push for twos. Cox just picks it off his hip, flicks it down to fine leg, moving in quickly. Just a single. So a half decent start for the Greenhills Giants. They won't be happy they've lost a couple of wickets. They know they can move along at a quick rate if they start hitting the ball in the second half of the innings. But losing wickets always puts pressure on a team. Greenhills Giants after 7 overs at 2 for 36. Tamatimi 1 for 10 off 2. So some excellent bowling. David Cox sitting on 3 runs off 4 balls. Jesse Varley 1 run off 1 ball. And in LMS, you want your strike rate to be well above the 100%. Bowler moves into Cox. Cox sees it. All he can do is push it back down to the bowler. So this is very tight, very good bowling from the Coco Ruff team. And the only play each ball as you see it. Cox sees that, pushes it out to cover, deep extra cover for a single. So I don't know what the pitch is doing. Might be playing a few little tricks out there. Maybe sticking in the wicket and they can't get the full face of the bat onto it. Varley just pushes it out to extra cover. He would be thinking about it too there, but the fieldsmen are quite quick. They're moving in, they're attacking the ball, restricting the Greenhills Giants just to a single there. Bowler moves in to Cox. Back cuts it, just for a single. Once again, field's been placed in the correct spot, just restricts it. We've got to keep turning this strike over, the Giants, and at least pick off a few runs before that final 10 overs, and hopefully keep wickets in hand. Varley sees it, does the same thing, just drops it into the offside. He does this early. We've spoken about Varley over the last couple of days, his unique batting stance. Pads almost pointing to mid-wicket, and that can put some bowlers off. But there's some excellent bowling up here on the Gold Coast, and they've adjusted themselves and haven't been scared by Jesse's stance. So at the end of the over, Greenhills Giants after 8 overs, 2 for 40. David Cox, 5 off 7 rocks. Jesse Varley, 3 off 3 rocks. But with the loss of a couple of wickets, that has slowed the Giants down. You can't throw too many wickets away in that first 10 overs. Fatutia on the bowl. Varley gets the ball well pitched up, just pushes it out to the cover boundary for a single. Hot, oppressive conditions here. Cox sees it, likes it, but there's a fieldsman out there, but he didn't quite get onto it and it falls short, 10 metres short of the fieldsman, so very lucky there. If he hit it a little bit better, there was a fieldsman, he hit it directly towards him. Varley pushes it again for another single. He's getting some good balls here. He can't do much. As we said, you can only play each ball on its merits, and they're bowling some very good balls here. Nathan Chappell out there watching with his daughters. Big shout out to Nathan. And Cox gets one just short of a length, pulls across the line out to mid-wicket. But once again, not piercing the gap, not hitting it in the middle of the bat, not getting the boundary. Nathan's giving us a little bit of advice here in the commentary box. He's saying to the Giants, bring the pain, boys. And Varley once again gets a good ball. He'll be wondering if he can get something bad here. If he gets a bad ball, here's a player that can really put it away, but he's not getting those. So then the over. Greenhills Giants, 2 for 45 off 9. So a very slow start, but the second 10 overs, they need to get a move along and also not lose some wickets early. And they've got some power in the stands. Luke Thomas and Travis Sling still yet to come in, but they don't want to come in too early. They'd like these guys to get a little bit of a move on, set them up. Bowler moves into Varley. He finally got one a little bit short. I wasn't ready for it. Rushed him a little bit, hurried him. They're not going to get back for the second. Timaloa, the bowler. He started well. Cox, all he can do, push it out. Deep extra cover for a single. This will be concerning for the Greenhills Giants. They would like to put on a few more runs in that first 10 overs, but by conserving wickets, they can let themselves unleash in the second part of their innings. Varley once again gets a ball right up in the block hole. All he can do is push it out to deep extra cover. He's moved in a little bit from the boundary. Seeing as how the Giants aren't power hitting and getting them out there very fast, fielder at the deep cover position has moved in a few metres off the boundary. Bowler moves in. Cox sees it, just chops it out towards point. Deep extra cover comes around, picks it up. Find it very difficult in these conditions. The wicket must be doing a little bit. It is good bowling, but the wicket seems to be playing a little bit two-faced here. Varley just walks down the wicket a little bit. He's good for a quick single. You're not going to run Varley out. Even if you've got to run 2 or 3 metres, Varley's that quick. He's like a greyhound. Projected score at the current run rate is only going to be 100 after 10 overs. Midpoint of the innings, Greenhills Giants 2 for 50, Cox 9 off 11, Varley 9 off 9. Second half of this innings, they're going to need to move along a little bit, but they've still got 6 wickets in hand. Luke Thomas, a power hitter yet to come in. Travis Ling, normally an opener, but it can also hit a big bomb. He's yet to come in. Tommy Frost, he's a little jackrabbit, runs fast. If he gets out there with Varley, they could be running 3s, even to places where most people will only run 1. They're that quick. Cox having a look around the field now. Change of ends. This may help the Greenhills Giants. The wind's blowing from the left to right conditions, and that'll assist any ball hit in the air, especially towards mid-wicket, mid-on, and a hook shot. That'll help it actually carry another 5 or 10 metres. So if they can get them close to the boundary, they can get them over the boundary. But we're yet to be seen. They're playing every ball on its merits, and there's been some very good bowling, but the pitch has always also been assisting. And anything on the wicket can sometimes keep low, as we've seen, and they're the ones that gets through batsmen. They'll hit across the line, and it'll keep low. They'll play and across the line and over the top of the ball, and it'll go through. Bowler moves in. It's slightly full, outside off. Just chopped down there, deep point. Cox on strike. Oh, down leg side, and that's a wide. Cox tried to flick it of his ankles, just missed it. It'll be 1 run, wide. Giants 2 for 52 after 10.1 overs. Ta'uana, looks like the bowler. So if I can't pronounce these names right, Coco Ruff. And that's another wide, outside off stump. So he's readjusted, and he's poorly readjusted to that, from the leg side to the offside, and he sprayed both balls. Giants won't mind this. If you start giving us runs, in 3s especially, they'll take them. Cox, another ball. That looked a little bit wide. Very lucky. Cox actually went to play it, left it thinking it was going to be another wide. Umpire thought it was just inside the line on the offside. So he's made an adjustment, but it wasn't a great adjustment. He almost bowled another wide. Let's see what he can do this ball. Bowler moves into Cox. And that's wide again. This one is called a wide. And Cox will take these all day. Greenhills Giants, it'll help push them along. 10 wides like that after bowling 1 in the over, that's another 30 runs. So they'll be hoping the Coco Ruff keep bowling these sort of balls to them. Oh, another ball just wide, outside off stumps. Cox this time chops it down to 3rd man. And it's gone for 4. It's gone all the way to the boundary. Fieldsman had gone too far around at 3rd man and couldn't cut that off. So after 11 overs, Greenhills Giants 2 for 62. Cox 20 off 16. Varley 10 off 10. They don't want to unleash too early, but they need to get a move along here. Coco Ruff been bowling quite well. Their fieldsmen have been placed in very good positions. And And this last 9 overs, this will be telling whether Greenhills Giants can put on a score and make it competitive. Coco Ruff got quite a few good batsmen, so Giants will know they've got to put a score on, but any score can win at LMS. LMS is short format of the game, 20 overs. Aside. Aguili to bowl, his first over. Slightly faster bowler, hit out through mid off, just a single. Oh, they've turned for 2. First one didn't take that cleanly. Jesse Varley on strike. And that's a good ball. Flicks it out to mid wicket, just for the single. If he drops anything short to Jesse will pull him over the mid wicket fence. And if he pitches up too far, Jesse's also liable to go straight downtown over the bowler's head. So he'll be hoping for that. Cox on strike. Another good ball. He's putting it right up in the block hole, and they can only pick it off for a single. So there's extremely good bowling at times from Coco Ruff. There's been a few bad balls that haven't been put away, but for the most part, they've been bowling quite well, pitching the ball up, making the batsman make the mistake. Bowler moves in. Varley sees it. All he can do is chip it down to long off. Just another single. One ball remaining in this over. Cox on strike. Sees it early, but all he can do, led to his pads. No run. Got a few of the Coco Ruff reserves out here on the boundary with us. Concerned they're not saying the right thing for him, but supporting one team, but I'm trying to make it fair. It's been good bowling by the Coco Ruff bowlers. 12 overs, Greenhills Giants 2 for 67. Cox 21 off 18. Varley 14 off 13. I'm sure the batsmen would have had a talk, whether one of them said it's time that I go and go hard, or whether both of them are thinking that. I think now they'll be starting to the point where they've got to start hitting through the line and really hopefully get in the middle of the bat. Easily said, not as easily done. Bowler moves in to Varley. Varley's seen that. It was a bit short, misses it. The keeper's missed it also, but got a bit of glove on it. Slows it down so they only get the single. So that's one by. Cox back on strike. And it'll almost be his time to go. I think Cox will be interested in moving the scoring along a little bit, hopefully get back to ball. Gets a wide just outside off stump. All he can do is push it down to mid-off for a single. Varley was keen, but I think with these oppressive, humid conditions, it's taken a little bit out of the batsman that's been out there for a while, Cox. And moves along to 22 off 19 balls. Bowler won't be too concerned if they're not starting to power hit. Oh, and that's a good ball right up in the block hole. All Varley can do is dig it out. And he dug it out well, but they'll only get the single. Fieldsman moving in fast, seeing where it was going, picked it up early, the fieldsman, and got to it really quickly. Bowler looking around the field, moves in. Cox sees it, but he's got too far under it. The keeper's coming around, should take this. And there's a steal over by Jesse Varley. Runs 2 runs and gets a steal. So there was a wicket off that ball, but there's also 2 runs. So that'll assist the Greenhills Giants. Good bowling by Chiba. Now it's 1 for 4 off 0.4 of an over. So he's still got 1 ball to go. Greenhills Giants moved to 3 for 72 off 12.4 overs. Jesse Varley out there, 15 off 15. You don't have to see that with Varley. Varley's normally well in front with his strike rate. He can hit up strike rate of normally up around 180, 200. So he won't be happy with this just at the moment, sitting on 100% with his strike rate. Coco Ruff fieldsman moved in to have a bit of a chat. I think that's just so they can all have a rest as they slowly move back out to their playing positions. They should have just stayed where they were, but they've come in to have a chat, and I think that's just to give themselves a little bit of a break in this heat. New batsman will be the captain, Travis Ling. No, that's Luke Thomas, sorry. Luke Thomas, sorry, is moving out to bat. Luke needs to get himself going, but with his bowling, he'll find it hard. And those balls that are sitting and sticking in the pitch, just short of a length, you tend to play over the top of them, and you could possibly be bowled. So you need to be aware of that. He's been in decent form, Thomas, but he won't be happy with what he's been getting out here. He'll want a lot more runs. Firstmen slowly making their way back out to their positions. I think they've done that, as I said, to have a little bit of a break, suck the birds in, get their breath back. Bit of a pause while we wait for these fieldsmen to get out there. I don't think they should have come in from the boundary. That's wasting time. They've now got 4 on the onside. No, it wasn't. It's one of their supporters out there in one of their jerseys. Good ball up in the block hole, first ball to Thomas. So that's the end of the over. Greenhills Giants 3 for 72 off 13. Varley 15 off 18. Thomas none off 1. Chiba 1 for 4 off 1 overs. That's an excellent start for him. Coco Ruff team will be very happy with that. Projected score now probably be down around 110. That's if they can maintain wickets and not get all out. And that's one thing the Giants will be looking at. Batting through the whole 20 overs. They've done that in all previous games. Bowler moves in to Varley. Varley sees it, tries to go across the line. Because of that, all he does, gets a good ball pitched up on the outside off stump and pulls it back towards the bowler for a dot ball. Conditions warming up here, even with the cloud cover. Humidity must be massive out there in the middle. Bowler moves in, Varley advances down, just flicks him out towards cover. Deep extra cover comes in, just a single scored. Thomas on strike. Sees it, all he can do is push it down the mid-off. They've got one easy. I'm going to try for the second. So well over the midway point in the innings. Giants won't be happy with the run rate, but they've still got batsmen in the shed. Varley moves across and gets bowled. Stepped across his wicket, got a full pitch ball on leg stump. Left the gap, the bowler took it. It's actually a good rock, he's pushed it right up there, bowled Varley. Varley won't be happy. Swinging the captain Travis Ling to the crease. Tommy Wayne 1 for 14 off 1.4. Greenhills Giants off 13.4 overs, 4 for 74. We've seen a lot of teams up here in this competition throw their wickets away, and they've been dismissed for less than 80 or 90 runs. I think the Giants will exceed that, but they want to exceed their expectations, which was getting 120 plus runs here today. I'm hoping they can do it. Nathan Chappell, one of our supporters, will be on the edge of his seats there with his 2 daughters. 2 daughters, avid cricket fans, come to games of LMS at times. And I think they love the game, but not as much as their father, Nathan. Nathan Chappell's a stalwart of the Greenhills Giants team. He'll do anything to help the team out, whether it's play, run water, or watch. He's always there. Great man. Extremely tough conditions here. The batting conditions are extremely tough. Just got a message from one of the batsmen that was out, Cox. Very bad conditions out there for batting. Ball's holding up, doing different things. You've got to really concentrate, keep your eyes on the ball, head still. Bowler moves into Ling. Ling gets a good ball right up in the block hole. Just pushes it backward a square for a single. So the one thing that the Greenhills Giants will have to do, seeing these conditions, is they're going to have to bowl really well. Because anything that sits down is going to just sit up for a batsman, and if they've got their iron, they'll get away. But the Coco Ruff bowlers have been putting that right on the spot. And the Giants will need to do the exact same thing in the second innings here. It's end of the over, 14 overs gone. Greenhills Giants, 4 for 75. Their run rate's not huge, it's not great for them, but all they can do is keep those couple of wickets in hand for the last 6 overs. They've lost some power hitting, but they've still got a little bit there. Bowler moves into Ling and just gets it just short, outside off stump, chops it down to third man for a single. Travis Ling now, the captain. I think he's going to have to anchor this innings and let him go from the other end. Luke Thomas has won. He'll go anytime. They've got a couple of batsmen still to come in. They'll be able to push the runs along. But I think Ling's got to anchor this innings now. Thomas straight through him. An excellent ball. And it's exactly what the Greenhills Giants team didn't need. Luke Thomas dismissed. Straight through the gate, got a good ball, didn't get down on it. Money Geely, bowling well. And that's put the brakes on the Greenhills Giants innings, and that's put the brakes on in a big way. 5 wickets down now, it's not what you want to see. Not from the batting team's perspective anyway. All fielders just once again move into the centre, which to me is a little bit of a waste of time, but I'm sure they're doing it just so they can slowly walk back out their positions, take up a little bit of time, get their breath back. So Tom Frost walks out to the wicket. Little Frosty's very quick, but the captain's playing with a sore knee, and that's not going to help. Ryan Neal, one of the players for the Greenhills Giants, who had to leave earlier in the week, has also said that it looks like bad conditions out there for batting, and it is Ryan. Giants 5 for 76 off 14.2. They need to somehow not throw any more wickets away, yet get some runs. And it'll be hard, as I said. The captain Travis Ling has got a bit of a knee injury, so he'll be struggling to run twos. Bowler Gurley just adjusting his field. Mid-on moves around very much squarer now, almost straight. Frost sees it, just picks it off his hip for a single. Fieldsman moves in, realises he's not going for twos, slows down, picks the ball up. Bowler, telling what he's going to do. He's into Ling, cover drives, square, just for a single. So they're managing to be able to put back the ball here, the Giants, but there's nothing being given away. They can't get out of the middle, and they've now hit a stage where they can't afford to throw any more wickets away, which will really restrict their run rate and restrict their scoring. Bowler moves into Frost. Oh, Frost, the left-hander, just tries to flick it down to third man. Waves the wand outside off, and that's potentially bad. You can always get an edge to those sort of balls. So after 15 overs, Greenhills Giants 5 for 78. Must cross that 100 mark. Set them a total of over 100. Anything can happen, but get past the 3 figures. Travis Ling, 3 off 3. Tom Frost, 1 off 2. Yeah, the deck out there is doing a few things. I think it's sticking in the pitch at times and sitting up, and at other times it's hitting and spitting along the ground nearly. So it's going to make it really hard for batsmen. Ling gets it outside off stump, Just pushes it square. Just a single. This is excellent bowling. Excellent fielding by the Coco Ruff team. They're putting the pressure right on the Giants. Coco Ruff won't want to be chasing 120 plus. A good batting side, but a couple of wickets could bring them down in the second innings of this match. Bowler moves in towards Frost. Frost sees it, just chips it back over the bowler's head for a single. They're going to look at two, and they do. Ling decides to put him in, runs it hard for 2 runs. Won't be helping his knee, but a good effort, gutsy effort from the captain. There'll be a few disappointed Giants batsmen out there today. Didn't get the start they wanted. And a couple got beaten with good balls, but it's slowed the run rate right down. Bowler moves into Frost. Frost bowled off stump. Lefties off stump. That'll be the 6th wicket down for 81. Giants in all sorts of trouble now. Bring Steve Ling in to bat with his uncle Travis. With his nephew Travis, sorry. So the Giants now in a lot of trouble. Steve Ling, not a real hitting batsman. Normally just pushes for singles. He'll be talking with Travis Ling, his nephew, and be saying, I'll just hit you a single. I'll turn the strike over to you if I can stay in here. Doesn't get out very often, Steve Ling. He's batted 15 or 16 times now. He's been out not out 12 times. So his average is quite good. Greenhills Giants 6 for 81 off 15.3, so there's still over 4 overs to go here. They won't be happy. The idea today was to bat the 20 overs out, even if they're being restricted. Dig in, bat hard, try and get the 20 overs out. They should set you up to get 100 plus, but with those couple of wickets down, that's really set them back now. Steve Ling's just a batsman that'll push, and the Coco Ruff won't realise this yet. It won't take him long to realise. He's not a power hitter, he's just someone that'll block and push around. Bowler moves in, Steve just pushes it out to the offside. Easy single. They're looking at 2, but Travis wants to be on strike. If they lose another wicket, they won't want it to be Travis. Travis is the player that can power hit, so if it comes down to last man stands, Giants would rather Travis Ling be out there to try and hit those boundaries. Another good ball from the Coco Ruff team. So they're bowling very, very well. Just a single down to 3rd man. That's all they can do. And if they pick off some singles though, that's at least moving the score along. Not fast, but moving it along. After 16 overs, Greenhills Giants 6 for 83. Travis Ling 5 off 5 rocks. Stephen Ling 1 off 1. It's been some good bowling. Chiba 2 for 9 off 2. That'll be encouraging for the Greenhills Giants. So there's a little bit of movement in the pitch and a little bit of deviation at times. Travis Ling just plays it down to 3rd man. They'll pick up a single. Steve would have been told, just give me back on strike by the captain, Travis Ling. That'd be the smart play at the moment, but they cannot afford to lose Travis Ling at this time. Bowler moves round, coming in on his approach to Stephen Ling. Steve just drains up, pushes it back to the bowler. They're looking for a single there. The bowler misfields. They don't take the single. Travis wasn't aware. Steve Ling actually called him if he wanted, but Travis Ling wasn't watching the ball, which is not a good sign. It's not great. Steve Ling just gets in, flicks it round to the leg side. That'll be an easy single. That's what he does, and that's his job today. Feed the strike to the main batsman, Travis Ling. But the bowling and the fielding has been outstanding from Coco Ruff, restricting the Greenhills Giants. Moves into Travis Ling. Travis just pushed it down to 3rd man. Just thinking about 2, but I don't think he can make it back. No. Just a single. So Coco Ruff at the moment, they're doing it quite easy. They're not going to be concerned with any score under 100, but anything can happen. To Ane, 1 for 17, moves into ball again. To Steve Ling. Steve just picks it off his legs. Down fine for a single. 17 overs gone. Greenhills Giants, 6 for 87. Travis may stay there for another over to just try and pick off some runs. And I think in the last 2 overs he may unleash. And that's what the Giants will be hoping, that Travis Ling can get going. It's the only game in this competition so far that at least one of the Greenhills Giants hasn't totally unleashed and gone big. And that'll be concerning for them. They were hoping today at least one, possibly two, would start hitting the middle of the bat early. It hasn't happened. It has been some good bowling. It's just nothing's been happening well for the Giants. Agelli back on, 1 for 8 off 2, so he's one of their attack weapons. Steve Ling will need to make sure he gets his bat to ball here, or the possibility of an LBW or a bowled comes into place. Just gets an outside edge, didn't quite pick it, but an outside edge can sometimes be good. Steve looking at running 2, Travis is happy to give him the strike, doesn't want to, but realises any runs at the moment is important. So Steve Ling moves under 5 off 5 balls, Travis Ling 7 off 7. Giants 6 for 89 off 17.1. Ling gets a bottom edge, almost a French cut. It's going down towards fine leg, and it has. It's gone through for 4. So Steve Ling, normally a non-boundary hitter, actually hits a boundary. In saying that, Steve Ling is one of only 2 Giants, Luke Thomas being the other, that has hit a 12 off the last ball of the competition. I must say that Luke Thomas power hit one straight back past the bowler for 6. Steve got a bouncer at his face, snapped it off his face, over the boundary for 6. Being the last ball of the LMS 20 overs, it's worth double runs and would have got a 12, in which they both did. Stephen Ling on strike to the bowler. Bowler moves in. Steve just pushed it back down. He's trying to push for an easy single. That's what he gets. Just take the 1 run. Stephen Ling moves in off to 10 off 7. Travis Ling 7 off 7. Greenhills Giants 6 for 94. They'd love those other 6 runs to get over the 100. That was a good ball, pitched up on leg, but well down leg side. Bowler gave a half a pearl, realised that it was a sillier pearl. So after this there'll only be 2 overs to go, and I think Travis Ling will then have to decide it's time to get going, even if he loses his wicket. Travis just flicks it off his hip, down to fine leg. There's a fieldsman there. It's only going to be 1. Greenhills Giants after 18 overs move on to 6 for 95. Still a score that the Coco Ruff have got to get, but in these conditions with some of their batsmen, you think they may do it easy, but anything can happen in cricket. It's one of those games. Travis Ling 8 off 9, Stephen Ling 10 off 7. Agelli 1 for 16 off 3 overs. So with wickets lost, Greenhills Giants may struggle in these last 2 overs. They would have liked 4 wickets in hand for the last 2 overs, and then you can really start smashing and just hoping for the best. But they haven't got that luxury. The only thing they got going for them at the moment is it's a fast outfield, and if they can get a couple of bad balls, maybe they can get a couple of more boundaries. But the way Coco Ruff's bowling, that's going to be very hard. Travis Ling on strike. Gets a good full pitched ball to the offside. He's thinking about it. Steve Ling can run quite fast, and Steve Ling will come back for the 2. So excellent running there by Stephen Ling. Yeah, just been reminded by my older brother David that, as Dad used to say, if we've got him, they've got to get him. Travis Ling just picks it off back down to the bowler. So exceptional bowling here by the Coco Ruff team. They've read the conditions, they've read the pitch really, really well. Greenhills Giants left it out when they're bowling too, because if they're a little bit off centre, anything down leg side can be put away, but they're not giving that away here at the moment. Another good ball. All Travis Lynn can do is chop it down to third man. It's hoping for it to go for a 4, but they should get an easy 2. And the ball does pull up, and the fieldsman gets round. It's only going to be 2 runs. Greenhills Giants moved on to 6 for 99 off 18.3. Travis Ling 12 off 12. Stephen Ling 10 off 7. 2 balls left in this over, and then the final over. I think Travis will know he's got to start going and going hard, but he may leave it till the last over, knowing that Steve's not a big hitter of the ball. Travis gets another good ball. All he can do is chip it past the bowler. If Steve's quick enough and realises he may be able to try and come back for 4 after 2, and it's misfield. Travis Ling wasn't going to come back for 2, but the bad misfield. That's a really bad miss. It's about the only thing the Coco Ruff had done wrong today. That was very poor fielding. Should have restricted and kept their main batsman off strike. With the bad fielding, it puts Travis Ling back on strike. Travis Ling sees it. All he can do, push it out for a single. This is making it very hard. At least they've cracked the 3 figures, Greenhills Giants. After 19 overs, 6 for 102. Travis Ling 15 off 14. Steve Ling 10 off 7. Chiba has 2 for 16 off 3 overs. So extremely good bowling. Nothing against the Greenhills Giants, but that sort of bowling, there's not much you can do. Greenhills Giants here today, and they'd be sore and tired. They've admitted that. We talked about Dave and I, how these games, a couple of older players starting to struggle, but they'll man up, they'll do the best they can. Travis hasn't got it through his head that maybe he's got to go and go hard, even if that leaves Steve out there by himself. Gets one down leg side, all he can do, leg by for 1. Travis Ling, he won't want his uncle Steve on strike. Travis is more the power hitter here. Steve hopefully realises and will pick him off a single and get him back on strike for the last couple of balls. Needs to get in front of the ball here, Steve, and lets it go, hoping for wide, and he gets a wide. So that's 1 run, and it'll have to be rebowled. In the last over, I believe all wides will have to be rebowled. So it's like another few of those, and quite a few. But he needs to get across and behind the ball here and just push it into the on or the offside for a single. It's in front of it, waves the wand, gets beaten outside off stump. Hopefully the bowler doesn't pick up on that. He doesn't like the ball there. Got a half decent score. They won't be happy with the score of the Greenhills Giants, but it's at least a couple of runs to be chasing. Steve, yep. He's always trying to flick that for a single. Gets a single there, gets Travis Ling back on strike for the last couple of balls. Hopefully Travis can go big. Travis Ling 15 off 15, Stephen Ling 12 off 10. Hancock, none for 2 off 0.3 of an over. He's let that go, and that's a wide. So they'll move on from 105 there, move on to 106, and every wide this over has got to be rebowled, but it's only 1 run. Travis wants 1 in his wheelhouse. He'd love to get 1 there. And he does, he gets it, but he's gone high and hard. Down to mid-off, it's going to be short. They should be trying to run 2 here, and they're not. Travis is happy to leave the last ball of the innings to Steve Ling. Should have ran hard there, Travis. Should have tried to pick off the 2. Let's see what Steve does. I'm sure Steve will just have a swing. Hopefully he just doesn't try and push it for a single. I'm hoping he has a big shot here. Goes big, misses it. And that's a dot ball. What they wouldn't have wanted. And that's the end of the first innings. Greenhills Giants 6 for 107 off 20 overs. Some great bowling, some great fielding by Coco Ruff. We can't take nothing away from him. And all the Greenhills Giants could do after a couple of quick wickets in the middle order was dig in and try and set him a score. Once again, as I said, Dad used to say, we got him, they got to get him. Anything can happen in cricket. I'll see you after 10 minutes change of innings. the sound here for the second innings of this game. Greenhills Giants now out in the field. Greenhills Giants now out in the field. Hopefully this commentary's working. So Coco Ruff only set a small total, chasing 107 runs, 108 to win. I'm hoping everything goes well in their batting lineup today. Greenhills Giants, they'll know it's all about wickets now. They're not going to restrict a team like this in runs, but they'll be hoping that they can restrict them by taking a few early wickets, and they need that. They need a lot of early wickets. Batsmen are out in the middle. Umpire's just getting out there now. Looks like Steve Ling will be opening the bowling from the northern end. Field is. We've got a deep fine, Blenman, mid wicket, deep mid wicket, deep long on, deep long off, deep cover, and Cox just now moving to backward point. So if he moves all the way to the boundary, the Giants will have everyone on the fence. Travis will be hoping for some early wickets here. Coco Ruff will know that the total that they're chasing, they'll just need to pick off ones, and depending on the placement, these and twos. So first ball, and it's a good ball, pitched right up in the block hole. All the batsman can do is push Steve Ling the ball straight back to the bowler. Batsman Timmy on strike. All he can do is push it down to long on for a single. Dan Bailey retrieves it, gets it back into the bowler. Mani Fatu Tea is the other batsman. Coco Ruff off the mark. None for one off point 2 of an hour. Still 3 balls to come. This is any wides or no balls. Steve Ling moving into bowl. Puts it up there. Just gets cut down to third man for a single. Because of how fast this outfield is, singles are the only thing they're going to be taken at the moment. Placement wasn't great there. Straight down to the deep third man. Cox moves in, fields it, gets it back. They'll be hoping that there's no big hits here early on. Steve Ling's right on spot at the moment. Another good ball. I think Coco Ruff decided that early on they're going to do what the Greenhills Giants were. Hit singles, hope for a really bad ball, and if they pick it up early, try and put it away. Hopefully the pitch conditions are the same as in the first innings, and then we'll be playing tricks. Ling once again pitches the ball up well. This is good bowling by Steve Ling. This will be exactly what the captain asked for. A great opening first over. Coco Ruff after 1 over, none for 3. Tamatimi 2 off 3. Fatu Taya 1 off 2. So a very conservative start here by Coco Ruff, but they'll have it in their minds. As long as they can keep turning the strike over, keep moving the score along, they'll reduce these runs pretty quick, and if there's anyone that can hit some boundaries, it'll reduce really quickly. Steve Ling going out down to the fine leg fence. Travis Ling, the captain, talking with the umpire. I don't know what that's about. New bowler looks like Jesse Varley. It's a wicket taker. Moves in. A little bit of leg spin. Punched out to deep cover. Tom Frost with the misfield. Could go to the boundary. No. He gets up and chases it. He's a jackrabbit. So lucky there. Bit of a misfield, but got onto it quickly. Coco Ruff seem to don't be in much trouble here, but it is only early days. Jesse may have a few tricks up his sleeve. Oh, and that's flicked away. Hard and high. I'll be disappointed in that. Four runs there scored by Coco Ruff. He got onto that quite well. Heading into the wind, Coco Ruff team might be thinking maybe into this wind we don't go too hard and high, but that was straight between the two fieldsmen there. Backward square and mid wicket. Made it hard. Varley moves in, he's put it up, it's gone straight up in the air, but I don't think I'll get to that. Even Varley with his speed may be able to get to that. Falls short just off the pitch, but even Varley with his pace couldn't quite get to that. So that's what we're saying, the pitch is playing tricks. Batsman might pick that up, it's a good ball, it went straight up in the air. Oh, pitched up well. Just pushed out. Comes in. 2 runs to Coco Ruff. Varley moves into the batsman. Oh, the batsman's gone big again. Waiting on the call from the umpire. Looks like it's 4 runs. So they're starting to find the middle of the bat a little bit too early for Greenhills' liking. So there might be a little bit of sound in the commentary box here with this wind howling down here. So I'm sorry if there's a lot of wind noise in the background. Nothing much I can do. Steveling back by the second over. Coco Ruff, number 16 off 2. Timitimu, 9 off 6. Fatitia, 7 off 4. None for 13 off 1. He won't be happy with those sort of figures. Steveling moving into bowl his second over. Just a punch back down past the bowler. Doff coming around to try and cut it off, and does. They weren't interested in running hard then, the Coco Ruff players. They're thinking if we can just push it around here for singles, get the odd boundary, we can pick this score off quite quickly. Oh, went big, went hard, beats him. Bowler hands to the head. Wasn't close enough to be purling for LBW, but he just totally mistimed that. They might be thinking Steveling's the one that they've got to try and see out here. He's creating a little bit of danger with his bowling. Steveling moves in again. Batsman, gets it down leg side. That's a bad ball. He will be very unhappy with that. That's been picked off down to the fine leg fence for 4 runs. So we'll let the first bad ball Steveling's bowled in these overs, and it's cost them a boundary. Conditions now very overcast. The oppressive heat's gone because of the wind, but this outfield lightning quick. Steveling moving into the batsman, and that's a good ball, but opens his shoulders, tries to punch it out to deep mid wicket. Deep mid wicket comes around. 2 runs scored by Coco Ruff. So it's a small total, but wickets will be needed here. Nothing's happening for the Greenhills Giants at the moment. Steveling moves in. It's been hit high and hard. The fields won't be able to get into that. Being right out in the fence. It's dropped halfway to the boundary. And just taken the single. Another good over by Steveling. 3 overs. Coco Ruff, none for 24. And they're heading into the wind at the moment, so they'll be trying to maintain no wickets lost. Because in that second part of the innings, they can use the wind. Timitimi, 10 off 7. Petitia, 14 off 8. So they're cruising along at the moment, the openers for the Coco Ruff team. They don't seem to be in any much trouble, but then that last ball was hit high and hard. They do that and hit a little bit better. There is fieldsman out in the boundary, but that one only went halfway to the boundary, and the fielder couldn't get in quick enough. Farley in for his second over. That's hit hard down to long on, but he's hit it too well. He's really got that. That's 6 runs. That's the maximum. Giants won't be happy with that. Jesse Varley will be very disappointed in that, but it was a half volley. Batsman leaned straight through it, hit it back over his head for 6 runs. So this will be making the Coco Ruff team very happy. And the humidity now, glasses are steaming up, so at times I may struggle to see the scorecard here because it's only on a very small mobile. A couple of spots of rain also. Varley once again puts it up. He's not scared to put it up there, but the batsman's not scared to put it over the boundary. And that's another 6. So that's 2 sixes at the start of this over. And that's hitting into the wind. I'm very surprised at that. I thought they'd hold up to the second part of this innings. But the team, it looks like they'll just go from the start. That's what they've done. They've moved along quite easily. Number 36 off 3.2. Coco Ruff, I think they want to finish this game, and they finish the game quickly. Greenhills Giants are hoping to be a little bit competitive against this top side in the world, but all they can do is watch, see what happens. Varley gets in, bowls a quicker ball. It's short, wide, outside off. Wind really picking up. The clouds starting to darken here. Then maybe, it looks like the covers may be coming on even. Varley back over his head. And that's once again over the fence for 6. I think Coco Ruff are a little bit concerned about this rain. I don't know what the reduced total will be. If there is a rain delay. We've got gentlemen out here holding the covers up, ready to rush on if it gets a bit worse. And Coco Ruff, they're trying to get it going so they don't have to chase anything if there is a rain delay. Varley comes into the batsman. The batsman goes back hard, hooks it, down backward square, 4 runs. So they're trying to take this over apart, which they're doing. Jesse Varley, normally a very good bowler, putting it right in the spot with a bit of drift and turn, but not much happening for him today, and it's just sitting up to be hit. Comes in again, the batsman, that's a powerful cover drive, that's a very powerful cover drive, and it's another 6. Jesse's figures being totally destroyed here, 42 off his 2 overs. Coco Ruff, 4 for 53 off 4, they want this game done and dusted, they want it over in the first couple of overs. Apparently there's no pitcher from what I've been told, and I don't know how to fix that. Just been advised by the technicians because of the rain they're had to unplug the camera, so unfortunately there'll be no vision there. I've been told apparently that the sound is coming through, so I'll try and stick with you, but with all this rain and running off a generator, one of the organisers decided to pull the plug on the picture. And another good ball. And that's looks like it's got him. Looks like Travis Ling may have got another stumping there. Not sure if it bowled him or it was a stumping. It was good work if it was a stumping. Quick. The batsman went for the big shot thinking, I want this over and I want this over in the next over or 2. That's at least slowed him down for the moment. Coco Ruff, 154, 4.1. Luke Thomas, 1 for none off his first ball. Petitia, 43 off 14. And now the rain is really starting to sweep in. They may do something here. They may go off for the rain. The covers will be called out. We'll have to find out from the officials what will happen to the scoring if that's the case. Coco Ruff well and truly in front of the run rate, massively in front of the run rate. Whether they'll be called as the winners if there is a rain delay, or even if it's washed out, we'll have to find out. And the covers are coming out. They've decided it's too wet. Simon, one of the officials running around here. It's gone into a bit of disarray here. Fieldsmen don't know what to go. Yeah, covers are out. No picture, just sound. That's what I've been told. So at the moment, covers are going on. That's all I can tell you. It's come over really dark here. That was very quick. Last 15-20 minutes. Coco Ruff might have realised that, and that's the way they were power heading from the start. They might have thought if there was a washout, the higher team in the placings, which I think was the Greenhills Giants, might go through. But there has been 4 overs. I don't know how many overs are required to get in before they call the game. And if they haven't got enough overs in at the moment, you would believe that the Greenhills Giants, if they finished higher on the standings after the first 3 rounds, the Greenhills Giants may actually be in front. If you lose your commentary, I'm sorry, but I'll see what's going on. We're trying to cover everything up at the moment. Bear with me, covers are on, starting to pour rain here, and it's dark, overcast conditions, really dark overcast conditions.